You know it's not a good sign when this movie ranks almost as bad as this movie. Batman vs. Superman. Finally, we get a Batman vs. Superman movie. And you finally get to see their views clash. And it's made by the same people who made Man of Steel. What could go wrong? You know, when I saw the first trailer, I actually thought it was pretty good. It addressed a lot of the issues I had with Man of Steel, such as complete disregard for human life by Superman. Zod and Superman are basically punching bags for each other, unwarranted destruction, non-existent character development. The list can go on. That first trailer actually had me a little hopeful. Then I saw the second trailer, and the banner between Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne, it was great. It was how I expected it to be. It was awesome. And then this asshole showed up. By the time the third trailer came around, while it was awesome seeing Batman beat the shit out of those people, I couldn't get this asshole out of my mind. Despite the fact that some of this stuff looked good, at the back of my mind, I was always like, well, it is directed by Zack Snyder. I liken Zack Snyder to like a rich man's Michael Bay. Like, they're both visually good. They put out some interesting stuff for you to look at. I would say Zack Snyder does a little better, so he's probably up like a little higher than Michael Bay. But when it comes to like character development and story, they're both kind of like on the same level, like right here or probably like way down here. His first two acts, like he actually tries, but by his third act, like the story and the characters is just like too much for him, and his fucking brain just explodes, and he just like completely like disregards all story and character development, and you get what you got at the end of Man of Steel, and you get what you get in this movie as well. Is there anything good about this movie though? Yeah, there are some genuinely good things about the movie. Ben Affleck is Batman. You knocked it out of the park, dude. Ben Affleck is the best Batman we've ever had. Period. I remember hearing Ben Affleck was going to be Batman, and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. But honestly, he really rocked it. I love that Batman in this movie, he like didn't give a shit. We finally have a Batman who kills people. We've never had that before, really. And it's awesome. I always thought Batman had like this pussy code of ethics. Just off a motherfucker. And he did it. Okay, now on to the bad stuff. No, there are a few more things I liked about this movie. Alfred, I thought was great. Jeremy Irons is always good, but I thought he was great. I really got the sense that Zack Snyder wanted to make a Batman film, but like was kind of pushed into making other shit in this movie. The beginning was great. When you see Bruce Wayne witnessing the destruction of Metropolis, I really liked that other point of view. I didn't know if I was going to like another origin of Batman, but it actually worked. There was very little going on in terms of dialogue. It was all visual, and I thought it was really good. I liked Wonder Woman. I thought she was good. She wasn't in it nearly enough, and I thought Gal Gadot fit the part, although Wonder Woman's motives were kind of... didn't really understand them. I liked the battle. I thought the battle pretty much delivered exactly what I thought it was going to deliver on, except for Batman like swinging Superman around like a freaking kite. That was kind of dumb. But you pretty much got exactly what you thought you were going to get, and it was pretty cool. I liked how Batman set up traps for Superman, like those two Sonic things that came out of the ground and like put him in place for a minute. That was pretty cool. That was pretty clever. I liked the Batmobile chase. That was good. I liked the Flash cameo. I'm a big Flash cameo. I liked the first Flash cameo, the one where he appears to Bruce Wayne, although it bears no effect on the plot and it's never mentioned again. I was like, yeah, that's the Flash doing time travel stuff. That's pretty cool. But then we get to the bad stuff. Where did it go wrong? What happened? It's just plain messy. First of all, the movie's edited like Game of Thrones, where it's like a different point of view for each character and it keeps rotating back and forth between these point of views, which is fine if you have a lot of characters. None of the scenes connect with one another. None of them build on one another. It's all just random crap. It's like the Warner Bros. Execs were just throwing darts on a dartboard and like just hitting like certain scenes, like just not even caring which ones they were. Scenes have to build on one another. They have to connect somewhat. There's a scene in the movie, you see it in the trailer, Superman is at his mom's house and she's like, "You're our hero, Clark. You're our monument. Be all of it or be none of it at all. You don't owe this world a thing." It really has nothing to do with the damn movie at all. And the whole time, the way it's edited and the randomness of it, I was scratching my head for the first hour and a half because not much goes on for the first hour and a half of this movie. When you have scenes that aren't even connecting to one another, you're sitting there going, what the hell is going on? Then you have all these nightmare scenes and like these dream sequences, and they have no bearing on the plot. They don't make really any sense. They're all just build up for future movies, which is exactly the same problem I had with Iron Man 2 when Nick Fury just kept walking in the movie and Avengers, 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 come join the Avengers. That nightmare scene, while it was a little cool, served no point to the plot, and if you took it out, the plot wouldn't have changed. And if you have a scene in a movie where you could take it out and the plot doesn't change, don't include it in the movie. Stop. There's so many of those scenes. This movie could have easily have been trimmed by like 30 minutes. The movie is too damn long for not a whole lot going on, because that first hour and 45 minutes, hour and a half, it's rough, especially when you have no idea what's going on. Superman. This movie is supposed to be some kind of sequel to Superman, but honestly, I still don't really know the guy, just like in Man of Steel. There's really no character development on him. This weird editing they did where they choose these point of views, the movie doesn't spend enough time on any of the characters. And Superman takes the biggest fall because he's the one that dies. And you don't really care. He's sitting around brooding the whole time again. When you have Batman and Superman, Batman's about fear, Superman's about hope. They have to contrast with each other. Superman has to be lighter. When you have the two main characters doing it's boring. It is so boring to watch two characters be the same kind of tone and personality. You've got Lex Luthor. Jesus Christ, there's a lot of characters in this movie. Because this is all I'm going to say about Lex Luthor. If you liked what you saw in the trailer, you're going to like Lex Luthor. If you were worried about what you saw in the trailer, you have every right to be worried. Jesse Eisenberg's interpretation of this character is so fucking weird. At the end, he had like snot running down his nose, and I was just like, oh, clean your nose, goddammit. Really did not want to talk about this one. This one's so bad. Then we get to this asshole. Okay, I'll put up his actual picture, but come on. He looks like a freaking Ninja Turtle. Like, what? Doomsday. He doesn't look real at all. He looks fake as hell. He's so out of place. And by the time he actually gets there, he's like this unwanted person in the film. You want to see these two characters fight, which you're seeing, but then he shows up. He's like some relative who comes over to your house for Christmas that you don't want there. And you're trying to like push him out, but he won't leave. And by the time they fight, it's boring. By the time Superman, Wonder Woman, and this asshole fight, it's the same as General Zod and Superman from the first movie. They're just punching bags for each other. Nobody's taking any actual hits. Nobody's getting hurt. There's no stakes. The character you like the most, Batman, he's like hiding under a car. He does nothing in this fight except shoot a grenade at the very end. Doomsday needed to not be in the movie, but I don't think it was completely Zack Snyder's fault. I think Warner Bros. Had something to do with it. Okay, greedy Warner Bros. Exec, I have this idea where you take Batman and Superman, you put them in a film for the first time, and because they viewed things totally differently, they're gonna clash. Okay, but where's the monster? What? Well, they gotta fight something at the end. No, they're gonna fight each other. Put Doomsday in there. Let them fight Doomsday. Because money. I have a huge problem with the fight itself. You have these two characters who view things, they have total different ideologies. Batman wants to fight Superman because Batman doesn't like him because he's an alien. He destroyed Metropolis. He could destroy the world at any point. Totally warranted reason to kill him. Or to at least hurt him. Superman starts out wanting to fight Bruce Wayne because he's a vigilante. It then becomes Superman has to fight Batman because he's being blackmailed by Lex Luthor because Lex Luthor has his mom. What? They're missing a fundamental point of the story. It becomes a character is fighting one because they want to, and a character is fighting one because he has to. It takes away from what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be about two characters who have different ideologies. They completely clash. But Superman, by the time he actually fights Batman, he doesn't want to, and he even tries not to. Batman's like, fuck this shit, I'm kicking your ass. I just gotta throw out the Justice League cameos. I thought maybe they'd be cool, but besides the first Flash one, which is never brought up again, the movie literally stops to show you the Justice League on a computer hard drive that Lex Luthor has. I like how he made like their actual symbols. Like they didn't make them themselves. He made their symbols for them. It's just stupid. Cyborg, being experimented on by his dad. And I didn't really get that one because I just didn't understand the whole mother box thing with Darkseid at the time. So I didn't really care about that one. You've got Ezra Miller as the Flash, and I still don't think he's a good Barry Allen. He's a fine actor, I just don't think he's a good Barry Allen. And he's got like a man bun, and it's just getting weird. Then you got Wonder Woman, who's in the movie, and you see a picture or whatever. I'll give this to you, Jason Momoa. You have the most awkward cameo I've ever seen in a movie. What the fuck? All those characters could have told you to not been in the movie, and I would have been perfectly fine with it. If you're gonna have a cameo by a bunch of characters, don't make it on a computer. That third act, okay. So you go from not really doing much to just going all out ape shit. Like how like they make it a point, like I can't remember who like literally turned at the screen, but they were like, the island he landed on, totally uninhabited. It's still unwarranted destruction, even if there's no one on the damn island. You really had to point that out in the first place just to address the past movies. All that destruction that happened, it would have been totally okay if there was no one there. No. The same thing happens again, the same amount of destruction, there's just no people, but it's the same thing, there's no substance to it. There's nothing. Despite all of that, my main problem with the movie isn't so much a problem, it's a frustration. I saw something good in the movie. I saw a great story that was there. The problem is that they're rushing this stuff and building all this stuff up for future movies that it smothers itself. The real story, the story you come there to see, you can't. You can glimpse it, but that's why I'm making this video, because it's so frustrating to see this. I wanted to see a great movie, and I thought maybe for a second they had learned from their mistakes, but they didn't. If you have any problems with this movie, or you disagree with me, or you do agree with me, let me know. Comment. My name's Matt. What could this movie have been? Just think about it.